The Dominicana is a new line from Davidoff. It's the 2014, and all right, admittedly, I've already smoked 3 of them because jump right in, that's what I say. It's eat, drink, smoke, where we eat the fine food, drink the fine bourbon, and smoke the fine cigars. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Davidoff, you're talking about Dominican through and through, and they do incredibly good work. I think it's easy to say that they are more at the top of their game than ever before. They've been introducing some new lines. This just became available in the month of May. So better way to kick off June than with this. This is the Dominicana line, and we are doing the Toro. So the Toro is a 6x54 cigar. What does that mean? I will gladly tell you. 6 refers to 6 inches long. Tee. Always makes him laugh. And 54 is the ring gauge, the diameter, or how thick the cigar is around. Tee. Again, with the laughter. So a 64 ring gauge would be a full inch around. This is about the top of the line where I like to be in terms of ring gauge because of mouthfeel, which, okay, doesn't get a tee, but still matters, right? Is a cigar comfortable to you? That's a big part of it. Now, this is Dominican in the wrapper. It's Dominican, and of course, its origin. The binder is Ecuadorian, and the filler is a mix of things from the Dominican and some other places. I am a fan of Davidoff. I am building on my fandom of Davidoff. Not everything in the Davidoff world, when you're spending that kind of money, is worth that kind of money. However, Davidoff has proven to me that I'm willing to invest in the opportunity to find out. That's the best way I could describe it. Now, we just lit this up. We are just starting on this Davidoff, the Dominicana 2014. Fingers, where are you at?
Well, right off the bat, there's a creaminess to it. And there is a little bit of pepper, but it's not much. It's mostly just these really creamy notes that are coming out.
Now, Dominicans, for me, always have that spice. I think most people see it that way. There is, right off the bat, a really good blend here, and that spice is not harsh. We're not talking about a red pepper. We're not talking about big pepper in that way. But you can easily say, okay, it has that traditional kind of, this is what I get out of many, many of the Davidoffs, that kind of a feel to it.
Are you also getting, maybe, I just said
Because you're a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, we're doing the Valley Girl review of a cigar.
Is it also tubular?
Not yet, but we may get there.
What do you
Oak notes? Are you getting any oak off of this?
I can do wood, right? Like when we talk about cigars, I can pick wood out, and sometimes I can pick cedar out. I don't know if I could pick oak. I don't know if that's where I'm at yet and what I'm getting yet. There's a crazy amount of smoke coming off this cigar. The wrapper is a good bit of oil to it. It's this, it's a light milk chocolate going on. You got a nice impression of the leaf there. It's got a good feel. This is not a wiffle ball bat. That's our terminology when a cigar is just a little too light in the hand. This feels it. This feels like all of the 6 inches that it is. It's got a touch of sponginess to it. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's, the humidity level that was going on there. We're talking spongy. Like, squeeze the cigar. Take your thumb and your forefinger, and your pointer finger, I should say, and squeeze the cigar. And what do you get out of it? But it isn't affecting the smoke. It isn't affecting the burn. That is a very, very solid burn all the way around. Easy to do, and the draw's been just perfect.
Yeah, no struggle at all with the draw, and like you said, it's a well-constructed cigar, at least so far. I mean, it definitely is enjoyable as we're just getting into the first third, and clearly, Tony, this must be something that you like. This is your fourth?
This is my third. This is my third. I had one, so last weekend was the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Elio Castroneves with his 4th win, and it's, by the way, it's a party. You have to go. But I do the pre-race, right? The station where I'm a radio host, WIBC, carries the race. And usually the race is not televised in Indianapolis. It's a blackout that takes place. So you listen to it on radio, and it's tradition. So I do the pre-race coverage from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm at the track at 3.
Wow.
3 a.m., I'm at the track. I'm in the winner's circle smoking this cigar. That's where I was, like 3:15, 3:30, I should say, because I got there at 3. That's where I was. It was chilly. It was silent. People mulling about, just getting themselves ready for what's going to be an insane day. And that's where I first smoked it. I said, This works all weather. This works in heat. This works in cold. This works with coffee. I think this would work outrageously well with rum because it's not hitting me right now overspiced. When I get into that, and it didn't the other day, when I get into that second, third, I'm going to be curious where that flavor profile goes.
Well, I guess the next question has to be, Tony, you know, I'm always looking for a value.
Oh, well, you came to the wrong place. Look, it's Davidoff, and they ain't afraid to charge. Now, there are budget line Davidoffs, we'll call it that. One of the cigars I handed out at the track, the 3x3.
Yes.
The Churchill version of the 3x3, you'll find it in a silver tube, and it'll cost you maybe $6 or $7 a stick, if that. And they're good. They're just good, easy cigars. You never mind giving one out. You can bring 100 of them to the golf course or to the track or whatever it is. No. This is going to put you in the $30, $35 range right here.
Hi there.
Yeah. This, the Dominicana 2014, is going to put you in the $30, $35 range right there. Now, when you're doing a cigar, when you're smoking a cigar, write down what you ate that day, write down what you drank that day. Oh, we'll get into what Fingers Malloy eat. We always like to check your dietary habits. How he's alive is just absolutely beyond me. But what did you drink that day? What's the weather like? You got to write down all those things. It's a little bit rainy as we're doing things right now. A little bit cool. We've had this cool cold front come through central Indiana, come through the Midwest. It fits perfectly in that. Absolutely perfectly. And I got to tell you, compared to some others, I think the last Davidoff we did was the Colorado Claro Special T, the letter T. I thought that was excellent. I think this is more my flavor profile. This is more my wheelhouse.
Yeah, well,
right here.
Definitely thinking about you on the track, pairing this with coffee, because this just screams to me a nice steaming hot cup of joe.
Right, and that's why I think it might actually go well with a rum, with that kind of sweetness that's there. It could actually pair very, very well. But this is not overly sweet. Don't get me wrong. $30, $35, you got to ask yourself whether this is a cigar for you. I am fully aware that this could be a regular in my humidor stick. Mm-hmm. But since I work in radio, no, it's not. If I worked in TV full time, absolutely, I got to start making movies.
There you go.
Get an OnlyFans page, something. But no, this works. But it is really at the very top of that ring gauge for me at that 54. I actually think I would prefer it with a bit of a smaller ring gauge. This also had a pigtail cap. It's just the way it was wrapped there at the cap. But we did a straight cut on this. That's what I would suggest. You want to definitely open this one up and make sure you're getting that full draw coming through it.
Is there any advantage to a pigtail cap that you know of?
I just think it's style. What were they in the mood to do? Right. It's just it's like they have this little bit of tobacco leaf and they just twirl it up and bloop, and that's it. It looks like
what do they do?
Bloop. It looks like the bun your mother used to wear in the 70s if you're that old. I guess it is. This is the Davidoff Dominicana right here. Yeah, it is worth the money. It is worth the money, but if it's not an everyday in your humidor, it's a good special occasion cigar. Oh, now some spice is starting to build. We'll see where we are in the second third of this smoke. And don't forget to go to Eat, Drink, Smoke Show if you want to catch everything that we're doing. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Follow the Eat, Drink, Smoke Show on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio.
It's a butt. Never said it on the show before. It feels good. Feels right, Fingers Malloy. It feels right. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. It is a cigar butt that was discarded, thrown away by Winston Churchill. Yes, the Winston Churchill. Literally a chewed like your Sherman Potter and mash cigar butt. And someone found it, and it's sold in an auction for 4,200 pounds, which, if I were to do the proper type of translation to U.S. dollars, is $400 billion in the U.S. No, probably about $7-8 grand, right? $8,000. Now, look, I have said that there are many things I would buy. Right? We saw that Winston Churchill's cigar box was for sale, went for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and rightfully so, because that thing is a work of art, and it's freaking Churchill's. Cigar butt? Cigar butt? Even I am asking questions if that's worth $8,000, $7,000, $8,000. But if you just want to do it on the lark and be like, hey, you want to see the cool thing I wasted money on? Well, okay. There it is.
That just feels like something that Michael Jackson would have bought and put it next to whatever freakish thing that he had at the Neverland Ranch. You know, there was a time where he was just going around and buying stuff. Oh, look at the cool thing! Look at that cool thing I got in the corner. Look at that over there.
Hold on, is that Michael Jackson or Mike Tyson?
Oh, that's not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's got that. Oh wait, I know he's a big fan of the show. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony.
You're afraid to do an impression of Mike Tyson for fear he will kick your ass.
Just saying. I hear he listens all the time.
I think that's a great rumor to spread. Mike Tyson just loves this show. This is pretty silly, as I see it. But if you want to spend the money, knock yourself out, and have some fun, this, not silly, Fingers Malloy. Cigar aficionado, bless their soul, the top 10 cigars under $10. Mm-hmm. It is possible, it is doable to find good cigars in that price point. You don't have to spend the $30, $35 on the Davidoff Dominicana, although I'm very happy with the Davidoff Dominicana. There are reasons to spend the money. There are things that simply are better than other things that can't be denied. But this list is right. This list is right, and I want to share a couple with you because these should be ones you immediately go out and get. The Arturo Fuente Hemingway short story. Yes, without question, no doubt about it. It's 92 points from Cigar Aficionado. It's about $7 to $8. It's like 4.5 inches. I'm not usually in that place. It's kind of bulbous there at the. Actually, it's kind of a point at the foot and then gets bulbous. So in that figurado kind of feel. It's a terrific, quick smoke.
Now, for my reference, how would you compare that size-wise to, say, a nub? Is it about the same size?
About the same size. A nub is probably a little bit short. I want to say it's a little bit shorter, but someone could correct me on that. I think a nub is 4 inches.
Okay.
And that, by the way, Nub, NUB is a brand. It's great. A nub is terrific.
But that's never been in your wheelhouse.
I used to smoke them. I find that I like a bigger cigar. It's the way I am. It's how I like to smoke. I like more size that it kind of develops into.
Well, what I like about the short story and the nub is those are perfect cigars for if you are doing a cook on your back deck and you've only got a half an hour. They're absolutely perfect in those situations where it's like, I want to smoke, but I don't have an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes to sit back and enjoy my cigar. These are great for that.
By the way, I said figurado, my mistake. It's a perfecto, right? Starts off at that closed head, thickens out, and then works its way back down. Again, excellent choice and a smart choice for this list. Then where was here it is. The Herrera Esteli Habano Lonsdale. Now, I like a Lonsdale. I like a Lonsdale a lot because of just that size, right? That 44 ring gauge that's in there, right? So it's a thinner cigar, considered dainty by many, but it's just you get more wrapper in that way, and when you get more wrapper, you get more flavor, and that's what I like about it so much. So that's I think a really good size, and one that isn't utilized enough. It's just absolutely right. A Lancero would be a little bit thinner. It's a smaller ring gauge.
I don't think we've ever done a Charter Oak before, have we?
A which?
Charter Oak.
No, I've never done a Charter Oak. I'm looking at the Herrera Esteli Habano Lonsdale, which is from Nicaragua. It's a 93.
Okay.
Right, Willie Herrera and the work being done over there, the Ecuador Habano wrapper. The Charter Oak is on this list. I have never done it before from Foundation Cigars. It's made by AJ Fernandez, so I would give it a shot. There's no question I would give it a shot. But the cigar on this list that makes the most sense, and they do have the Romeo Julieta Reserva Real Porto, right? It's a fine smoke. To me, it's a much lighter smoke for sure. Easy going smoke. The Oliva Serie V Double Robusto. Oliva, for the money, consistently kicks all the butt. And I am a fan of the Melanio. I like, as I said, a cigar a little bit bigger. You hand me a double Robusto right now, and I'll be like, yeah, let me finish this, and I will get right on that. That's how good it is. Under $10, you can never, ever go wrong.
No, I've got one in my humidor right now that I bought for the holiday weekend, and you know how it is. I wasn't at the track like you were,
right?
But time gets away from you, and I wasn't able to smoke it. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to light that bad boy.
Right. It's got that. It's got a good thickness to it. It's got those leather notes that I love. Man, when I say to you, there is no one who smokes cigars who's going to be like, Oliver, really? Now, they've got the G series and they've got the O series. I'm talking about the V. I only smoke the V. Anywhere you are, anytime you are, coffee, beer, bourbon, scotch. It'll do it all.
No, I know you're a champion of the Series V, but and we've had discussions about how I like the G, but you don't dislike the G, do you? You just like the V better.
I'm not going to go out of my way for the G.
Okay.
I'm going to go out of my way for the V. I think that's the best way I could put it. And what you do with the Oliva Series V, you want to talk about something perfect for Father's Day, the Davidoff Dominicana, the Oliva Series V, and steaks from Omaha Steaks. It's Father's Day. Dad wants to grill, so let him. Help him. Order today. Get the entire Get Out and Grill assortment. The butcher's cut strips, the boneless chicken breast. You just did the strips, Fingers Malloy. Did the reverse sear.
Fantastic.
You got the steak burgers, you got the jumbo franks, the fries, the apple tartlets for dessert, which are delicious, the signature seasoning, which is quite incredible, and you will get 4 New York strip burgers absolutely free when you put Tony, Tony, in the search bar, right? So you put Tony in the search bar, boom, you'll see Eat, Drink, Smoke pop up, and you are getting the deal. You will get 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. Omaha Steaks, they're the ones who know how to deliver to your door. It's going to show up in that box. Next thing you know, you just get everything in the freezer, pull it out as you need it. Quick, easy, simple. Dad wants steak, so give Dad steak. What are you waiting for? OmahaSteaks.com is where you go and check out all the deals they have when you put in keyword Tony. OmahaSteaks.com, keyword Tony. That's OmahaSteaks.com, keyword Tony. That's Tony, not with an I. Don't be ridiculous. OmahaSteaks.com, keyword Tony. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie, radio extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That right there, America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Eatdrinksmokeshow.com. You'll get the reviews. The podcast is there. The latest cool news in booze and in cigars and in grilling. And thank you to everybody who's been saying, hey, I know the grill Tony should buy. Trust me when I say I need psychological help in trying to figure out what kind of grill to get. Smoking the Davidoff Dominicana 2014. This is just really, really good. It's got that cream. It's got that touch of spice. It's playing very, very well. It's built like a mother. Feels great in the hand, and it's smoking slow, which I appreciate. I think people see this as like an hour 15 minutes smoke. That's probably right on if you were smoking it straight. I think this is going to last me a good hour and a half plus. Very, very enjoyable.
It's beefy. It's a tank, Tony. That's what it is. Now, to me, you said that the pepper was actually picking up for you. Is that still the case?
Not necessarily. Not right now. No, it was earlier as we were getting into that first third.
I was just about to say, it feels like it's coming in waves. It's like the pepper gets a little bit more intense and then it subsides a little bit. But that creamy note is consistent. It's been straight through into the second third.
And creamy, we should be clear, right? So this is the 54 by 6, 54 ring gauge, 6 inches long. Creamy is not vanilla. And creamy is not necessarily like half and half or something like that. It is not a flavor as much as it is, for me, a feel, right? But now, that's not to say that there isn't some flavor that comes from it. It's actually a 2-part thing that kind of comes on. So when I can find a chocolatey note in a cigar, I'm a very, very happy guy. A leather note in a cigar, I'm a very happy guy. But cream, to me, kind of plays into an overall sweetness and feel of the cigar versus a hard flavor profile.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could describe it.
No, I think that's spot on. But again, this is a wonderful smoke. And it's something that if I were celebrating a special occasion at a cigar lounge, I would definitely reach for. But at that price point, for me, that's a tough call.
Not for me. For me, this is, and funny, the spice just picked up right there. That's interesting. Not for me. There's a lot working for me here in a way. Now, again, I think I would prefer it if it was a 52 and not a 54, just a touch smaller on the ring gauge, but that might change how the cigar acts and reacts for me. It was like a Christopher Walken. Wow, the cigar, amazing. That's all the impressions I do. That's it. Don't ask for any others.
Mike Tyson.
Pauly Shore. What else you got? So, by the way, Pauly Shore came out to say that they should do a remake of Encino Man. Him and Brendan Fraser are ready. Fingers Malloy, are you waiting at the local theater right now to see Encino Man, the next generation?
I'm actually part of the people who are writing the script for the next Encino Man. So,
this cigar works for me. I have, to many extents, graduated up in what I'm willing to spend in a cigar. That doesn't mean that it's always a winner. And that's why when we're talking about that under $10 list, which we'll post at Eat, Drink, Smoke on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Smoke. There are plenty of good ones out there. I definitely like that $15 range, but I am. This is on my list, man.
Well, we've definitely had sticks in the past, and this is not one of them, that have been $30, $40, and we both looked at each other and said, this is very disappointing.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely agree. There are some sticks that just they don't equate to the dollar. It's not that it was bad. It's just that in an overall value, like how do you feel about it? There's nothing worse than smoking a $25 cigar and being like, well, I just wasted that.
Right. I
could have had my standby. I could have had a Mil Diaz. I could have had an Oliva. I could have had an Arturo Fuente King or something like that. And $14, I'd be done and good. No, $25. But you do have to try them. You do have to try them. This is all right.
You're all in.
I am all in. It's time, Fingers Malloy, for News of the Week.
Well, Tony, the hackers are at it again. And that's not a really bad ska band. It's actual hackers.
Oh.
And,
ska band.
Ska band.
If you had ska band on your bingo card, see your bookie for your winnings.
Well, the hackers, they went after our supply lines for gasoline. The pipeline was shut down, which seems like a long time ago, but in the grand scheme, what was
a month ago?
Yeah, a month.
Right, Colonial Pipeline, the hackers, Russian hackers, they were able to infiltrate. It was ransomware. It was down for over a week. Pretty dangerous situation.
Now they're after our meat, Tony.
I want war. Gas up the bombers. Let's go to work.
The world's largest meat supply company was forced to shut down slaughterhouses because of a cyber attack over Memorial Day weekend.
So, this is JBS.
Yes.
Right? I think they're are they out of Brazil, I believe is where they are. They're the largest producer in the world. 25% of U.S. meat, JBS processing is how that comes to you. We don't get political on the show, but this isn't about right or left. This is a serious problem that we as a nation and our leadership, they have to do something about. You can't let this go by the wayside because we should be at least clear and be able to agree with each other on one thing. There is no hacking happening without the leadership of Russia knowing about it.
Right.
Oil supply and now food supply. Americans should be like, what the hell is this? And it's not like they went after the kale, people. They went after our steaks. It's a real issue.
Well, and what is frightening is when stories like this hit, you worry about the toilet paper effect, right, Tony?
Oh, you're hoarding?
The hoarding. People are going to run out and buy all of the beef because they're worried that it's not going to be available to them in the very near future.
First things first, omahasteaks.com, keyword Tony. It'll come right to your door. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, they're already back online. There's nothing to hoard here. There is no danger. There might be a price increase for a while, but there's a difference between whether or not you're buying your meat or whether you're buying your meat from the local supermarket or whether you're getting it from your local butcher. And then there's the conversation of what is it that you're buying? Have you looked into buying from local farms? There are different ways to do this. You might spend more overall, but there is a quality conversation that's going on that's really important. And they, of course, have different supplies. And so I don't think there's any reason to panic at all in terms of hoarding. But this is an issue. This is an issue for all of us. This is a real issue.
Yeah, and this isn't the only reason why you're seeing beef prices go up. There was already supply chain problems. There's a low supply right now, and of course, it's high demand. This is the time of year when you're going to go out and you're going to barbecue. You're going to get more of your meat. And also, I believe we highlighted the story a few weeks ago on Eat, Drink, Smoke. There were meat processors in Oklahoma who were saying that, again, they are one of the industries that has been hard hit by not being able to hire employees, not being able to find employees to work. So they were limited as to how much beef that they could process and get out to market. And that's another reason why you're seeing meat prices go up.
So we're really in a strange kind of place with this, because we can't simply be a nation, right? That I use right. I gotta stop saying right. I found I said that a lot. That says, oh well, this just happened. Man, this is bigger. This is hit at home. When people in North Carolina, right, they have to wait online for gas, or people go, oh, that's really inconvenient. When you can't buy ground beef for your family,
yeah, well,
that hits you in a whole different place. And so we need to be, regardless of party here, we need to be concerned about this in a big way. Affecting the things that are the everyday things is part of what is like people's fear scenario, in a way. And this is a good time. You know, we always talk about it with cigar laws and taxes. You're talking to people who make the laws and make these things. This is something we have to pay attention to. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Remember, you can find our reviews on cigars, bourbon, and food over at our website, eatdrinksmokeshow.com.
So picture the situation. You're living in California, and in a lot of California houses, they've got kind of walled backyards. You've got a dog, you've got a cat, you got a couple of puppies. You love animals. But it's California. Weird things show up in California. One of the things that can show up in your backyard is a bear. Tony Katz, great to be with you on Eat, Drink, Smoke. That right there is Fingers Malloy. Well, what shows up? A bear. On the wall. Standing, all four legs down, but on the wall. The dog, big dog, freaks out. Starts barking at the bear. The bear looks at the dog and says, maybe we haven't met. I'm a bear. And takes a swipe at the dog. The dog freaks out. The little dogs, the little puppies, little dogs yapping and screaming. The cat is like, excuse me, I have to go. Enter a 17-year-old girl named Haley. This is already, this is a horror movie come to life. Haley sees her dogs freaking out, sees this bear, sees the bear trying to go after the dogs. So what does she do? Fingers Malloy, let's say you're a 17-year-old girl.
Okay.
You see a bear, you see your dogs, you see the bear swiping at the dogs. You're 17. What do?
I'm going back inside and watching YouTube.
That's right. That is the correct answer. Oh, not Haley. Haley, who looks like she's wearing a house coat. I thought she was a grandmother when I first saw the video.
Can I guess what she does?
Yes.
Does she film a TikTok?
She does not film a TikTok.
Oh, okay.
She runs up to the bear. Now, when we say a wall, it's let's say it's chin height. You're an average height person. It's chin height, and she pushes the bear off the wall. The bear falls to the other side. She starts grabbing dogs and runs everybody inside. The bear then pops its head back up and says, "What did you just do?" Jumps back on the wall. They're now inside. This is the most insane. This is the only reason for people to have video cameras at their house, so we can watch insanity like this. She's lucky she's alive.
Yeah, she
now,
is.
The bear was not the biggest bear you ever saw, But still, just so we're clear, a bear. She's lucky to be alive.
Now, listen, I admire her courage, and also I admire her strength, by the way, because she pushed that bear over with one hand. She's leaned in with one arm, pushed that bear over, grabbed the dogs.
It's like a mom when she sees her baby in trouble. Strength of 10,000 men.
If that's
Spartacus.
If that's your daughter, and you see that video, what do you say? What do you say to your daughter after she does something like that?
If you ever do anything like that again, I personally will feed you to the bear.
Right?
That's what I say. Oh, look, I get that people love their pets. And I get the idea that adrenaline is rushing. This is so dangerous. I mean, it's an amazing video.
Something similar happened to me.
Stop it. Just stop it. No, it did not. So there I was on the wall of somebody's house. I was doing a Robert Downey Jr. impression. I was looking for a teenager's bedroom. Go ahead.
Wow.
That was pretty good. I went all the way down. Yeah, he became Iron Man. Everything worked out well for RDJ.
Oh, RDJ? Is that what you
RDJ
call
too,
him?
right? It's like Robert Griffin the third.
Yes.
RG3.
So it was 1:30 in the morning, and I was minding my own business in my backyard. And I've got a chain link fence in the backyard. And all of a sudden, I see two strange eyes looking at me from the chain link fence. And it's dark, so I take my phone out and I open my flashlight up on the phone. And
this is the start of an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
And
Shyamalan.
I shine the light at the creature. And
At the eyes.
Yes, at the eyes. The biggest raccoon I've ever seen in my life, about 15 feet away, angered that I would dare illuminate the creature with my phone. And I did what any normal human being would do. I picked up a rock, threw it at the fence, and ran inside.
Did you just happen to have a rock around?
Hey, you always have to be armed.
Well, I'm actually armed. And I'm not shooting at just random raccoons in my backyard.
Well, I didn't shoot at it. And I didn't even throw the rock at the raccoon. I threw the rock at the fence because, listen, the raccoon doesn't know any better. It doesn't know it shouldn't be on my fence. It's just looking for my garbage can to see all of my empty McDonald's wrappers, hoping that it would be a half-discarded cheeseburger in there that I could eat for dinner. But it scared the living crap out of me. I can't imagine a bear on your wall.
I was 9 years old when a squirrel got into my bedroom.
What?
A squirrel got into my bedroom and ended up in a bureau. And literally they had to, like, I don't know, my father called the cops or he called the extermination service, and they had to bring the thing outside, and they started opening drawers to get it out. I have been scared to death of squirrels ever since. Ever since. Oh, I was traumatized, and you laughed. That's who you are.
Well, because this
friend my ass.
This sounds like a scene cut from one of the vacation movies, is what you just described.
This was the original screenplay for It by Stephen King. But people like dig raccoons and like possums, and they're all ugly and frightening, and they will gladly kill you and not think twice.
Have you ever hit a possum before? That's a pleasant experience with your car.
In my car?
With your car.
No.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever hit a live animal. I've hit a dead animal once. I hit a dead deer on the Garden State Parkway in a Volkswagen Jetta, and it did not go well.
A huge raccoon customized my car just after I got it fixed. I got into an accident. Someone left a bunch of pallets in the middle of the road, which was very nice of them, wood pallets, and I ran into them. But then I must have hit the second biggest raccoon in the history of raccoons, and now my daughter has the car, and it's customized. There's a huge dent in the front. It's gross when you hit something like that, or a possum, and especially if you see them turn their heads just to see the vehicle coming right at them. The look of terror in their eyes, Tony.
Do you think they look at the car and go, a Buick, really? Oh, that's, by the way, take care of your animals. Love your pets. Try not to hit anything. It happens sometimes. The animal lovers are going to get all over you and yell at you and be angry with you.
I didn't aim my car at it.
I think that's the important part of this conversation.
I did not want to hit a raccoon or a possum. It just happened.
Don't push the bear. Don't poke the bear. Don't push the bear. It is such an absolutely horrific. The video scares me to no end. Oh, I'd be so mad at my kid. So mad.
Yeah,
I can't describe.
I don't know. And you love your dogs. You want to protect your dogs. You want to protect your cat. But there are certain things that you don't do. And one of them is confront a bear. But God bless.
I would need a drink and I would need to sit down for a while before discussing this with my daughter. And then I would need a good night's sleep. And that happens on a MyPillow. I love it. I love my MyPillow. No sore neck, no headaches. You're not going to feel like you need a nap even though you slept all night. And you can refresh the pillows of every room in your house because the premium MyPillow, lowest price ever. You can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for only $29.98. $29.98. King pillows just $5 more. And to get the deal, you use promo code Tony, and it's backed with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to mypillow.com and you'll see the radio listener square. Boom. You click on that, enter promo code Tony, Tony, and you can take advantage of the discounts on all the MyPillow products, the Giza Dream bed sheets, which are fantastic, and the new My Slippers. So get your premium pillow today. Here's what you do. You go to mypillow.com, right? It's only $29.98, mypillow.com, and use promo code Tony there in the radio listener square. mypillow.com, promo code Tony. That's how you get the MyPillow, and you can sleep off that kind of thing, your daughter and a bear. The Davidoff Dominicana. Ooh, it's getting a little bigger. Daddy like. Am I allowed to say that? Was that weird? This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. When you think single malt, you think Scotch. When you think Scotch, you think Scotland, because Scotch only comes from Scotland. That's the way these things work. So when I came across Westland, American oak, American single malt whiskey, I did what Fingers Malloy did. I said, wait a second. This isn't right, except it is. And oh, how very right it is. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke, where we eat the fine food, drink the fine bourbon, and smoke the fine cigars. I'm Tony Katz. That right there, America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. This has got one of the more unique noses. Have not even taken a sip yet. I've never tried it before. I did not hear of it until I stopped in. We're recording at Blend Bar Cigar in Indianapolis, Indiana, blendbarcigar.com. And I was like, what in the world am I looking at right here? So this is an American single malt whiskey. So as the people over at Westland Distillery describe it, they have a 5 malt barley bill that they then do in new American oak casks. Now, that's not the way it's done, right? They use bourbon casks and other things for the Scotch, right? So this is a kind of a mixing of how you would do bourbon, but since it's not 51% corn, it's not bourbon, but it is still whiskey, and it's not Scotch because it's not from Scotland. So this has some pale malt, a Munich malt, an extra special malt, which I don't know what that is, but it's extra special, some pale chocolate, and a brown malt that's going into new American oak. This nose, I'm telling you right here, it's not a Scotch nose, but it is a Scotch nose. It's not a bourbon nose, but you can definitely feel some oak in there. And I find this to be vexing and confusing all in the right ways.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out there right away and see if you agree with me. Marzipan?
Stop it. No. This is really interesting. This was aged 3 years. It's 46% alcohol by volume, so it's 92 proof. It is a very, very lovely honey, right? And not so much into the ambers, more into the honey is the way I would describe that color there, although some other people may see it differently. There's a sweetness. There's a richness, a touch of leather going on in that nose. This is weird.
there is a lot here. And here's what I'm getting, which is, it's rather odd to me. You're getting that orchard on the nose to me, but there's also a hint of citrus. So it's like this orchard fruit.
There is a citrus, almost a tangerine going on. And there is a bit of a, I don't know if it's orchard or for me, dark fruit. I'm sometimes not good at determining what it is. Now, first let me give the name again. It's Westland, Westland. You can go to westlanddistillery.com. American oak, American single malt whiskey. That's what it is called. And as they describe it, they see it in that traditional style, single malts from Scotland, right? The things you see from the Isles, things you see from Speyside. But it doesn't have that heavy peat moss hit to it at all. It's crisp, actually. It's very fall, very autumnal in where the nose is, but delicious.
And what's odd about it is you say that, and it's Pacific Northwest. That's where it's from, Washington. So, to me, when you get into fall, I always think Washington or Maine in the Northeast, that kind of always fall kind of feel. There's a lot here on the nose, Tony.
I want to get into sipping this. Now, we do this neat and then either bring a little cool water or we bring it to a cube. Are you ready? Are you ready, Fingers Malloy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? This is not an overwhelming thing at all, right? You're not going to get abused by this in terms of the proof, but I'm curious to see what the taste is. Never had it before. This expand your horizons, people. Fingers Malloy, go for it. He's taking the sip. He's going to do the Kentucky chew, move it around the tongue. He's going to move it around the palate. His eyes almost bugged out of his head in a good way, like he wasn't expecting something. Like there was a flavor he wasn't ready for.
Okay. On the tongue, there is a little bit of a sting, but there's a spiciness that hits you on the tongue. And then the vanilla comes out along with the fruit. Very pleasing on the tongue. No burn going down at all. Very, very enjoyable.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm ready. Here we go. This is the Westland American Oak Single Malt. Here we go. I'm doing it. I'm frightened. I'm afraid. Hold me.
Let's not fireball. He's doing the Memphis Munch.
Ooh. First, there is a little bit of heat that developed in the throat right there. I can feel it a touch center chest. No sting whatsoever on the tongue. And it's coating the tongue beautifully. That's got a chocolatey, man. That's what I've got out of this. That is crazy cool. It's not Scotch. Don't think of it as Scotch. If you think of it as Scotch, you're doomed.
Yeah.
It's not bourbon. Don't think of it as bourbon. It doesn't have that heavy oak. It doesn't have that punch of caramel or caramel. This is working. This is working in a lot of ways. This is a unique flavor profile.
Now, isn't it amazing? And this again shows how everyone's palate is different. The first thing that hit me was vanilla. The first thing that you said that hit you was chocolate.
Oh, totally chocolate. Absolutely chocolate. Like this is screaming for like a Bananas Foster kind of dessert.
Okay.
To go with it. Oh, this is much sweeter than I thought it by magnitudes, much sweeter than I thought it would be.
But this does not have a Scotch
no
feel to it at all.
No, not in the slightest. Now this you're going to find for about $60 a bottle. Fingers Malloy, it's $60. Is this in your liquor cabinet?
Absolutely. This brings a lot to the table on the nose and on the palate. This isn't a one-trick pony. There's a lot here. I think it's definitely worth
too. This flavor profile is totally moving because as it sits on the tongue, there's a little bit of spice that percolates, but it is those earthier, richer kind of flavors. Again, crisp. It's an autumn day. It's a fall day. Absolutely. Wow.
I'm telling you one thing right now.
I'm not putting this on a cube.
No?
I may put a little bit of chilled water in it, but I really am enjoying this the way it is.
I'm going to move it to a cube just to see where the flavor difference is. Remember, when you add water, you're changing the proof, you're changing the complexion. Things do come out of it. Don't be afraid to do it. I'm not saying this is in my liquor cabinet. I am saying that on occasion, this would work spectacularly. If you want to try something unique, something that people said, hey, let's try something here, let's play with something here. This from Westland, the American Oak American Single Malt Whiskey, all right, at 92 proof. This is worth trying at your favorite tavern. This is worth trying to compare pretty nicely with a series of cigars and also this Davidoff Dominicana that we've got. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Follow Eat, Drink, Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat, Drink, Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Smoke, and Instagram at Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast.
Everybody who is everybody is getting into the liquor game. Ryan Reynolds has his gin, and George Clooney had his tequila. Now Jamie Foxx has a bourbon. LeBron James has a tequila, and of course Michael Jordan has Simcoe. So why not Nick Offerman? We're talking Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation, people. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there, America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, the Lagavulin Offerman edition. Guinness cask finish. So this is an Islay Scotch whiskey that is finished in a Guinness cask. Now, it's a bit shtick, but I'm willing to give it a go. It's an 11-year-old Scotch finished for 4 extra months in barrels that had Guinness beer. So you've got, as they describe it, UrbanDaddy.com having the story here, a little bit of peat. You got the charred wood notes with that coffee and dark chocolate and the sweet caramel that's imparted by the Guinness cask. They even have hints of green apple. It's a shtick. It is what it is.
Yeah, and listen,
But it's an 11-year-old Scotch.
I can't see it. Can you? I mean, we did the Nitro Cold Brew that Guinness just released.
I bought more.
Did you?
Oh, I tried a regular Guinness after doing it like a couple days later. I'm like, no. And I bought more of the Nitro Cold Brew coffee. It's fantastic. That is a perfect sweet working for me, perfect texture working for me. It's now in my house all the time.
Well, it should be because it is wonderful. But I also like to have my Guinness as well.
You're
but,
a purist.
Yeah, it's true. But I can't. I don't know if I'm on board with this because, Scotch, the flavor profile with Guinness, I mean, the coffee works so well. It's a stout, right? It's like peanut butter and jelly. It goes together. I'm not sure about this.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich with Guinness cold brew, Nitro Cold Brew coffee. Oh, yes.
There
Yes,
you go.
please. It's a beer, but yes.
But can you see this?
I don't know. And look, you know that I oppose shtick, right? I don't like things for the sake of it. Every now and then, someone tries something, you're like, oh, okay, that's fun. I'm not spending my money here. Let's put it that way. If somebody had one and they said, hey, try this, I would try it. But for example, I feel the same way about Japanese whiskey. We have tried Japanese whiskeys on the show. People said to me, ooh, try this Japanese whiskey. Hottest thing. I know what it's going to be. It is not a flavor profile that works for me, and I have never had a Japanese whiskey that has a flavor profile that works for me. It's just not where I live and breathe. I find it too light. I find it too... There is almost a tang to a Japanese whiskey that just doesn't work for my palate at all. If somebody had it and said, hey, try this, I would try it for the sake of trying. I would do it for the show. I would do it for you, America. I would do it for Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation. But spending my money? No.
Now,
I can't see that I would.
We're referencing a story from UrbanDaddy.com, and the one thing that they don't talk about is how much this is going to cost. I'm assuming it's going to be pricey.
Right.
I'm with you. Listen, if the
the people from what is this, Lagavulin?
Lagavulin.
If they had the Lagavulin girls walking around giving out free
Lagavulin. Just to be clear, their 16-year-old single malt, $75. That's what you could find it for. So this has got to be in that range, but that's a 16-year-old. I assume it's in that range.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's something that if I were at, say, somewhere like here, Blend Bar Cigar, and they had it available, I'd be interested in trying it. But I don't know, if it were sitting on a liquor store shelf, if I'm gonna, throw it down the credit card and say, oh, $90 a bottle. Well, it has Guinness in it. It must be good. It does have Guinness in it, but it's got the Guinness profile.
Right. This all plays into the fact that because we're seeing mask mandates go away, we're seeing things open up, the distilleries are coming back strong here in the U.S. Bourbon distilleries are building and growing. We've already know that they've been well into adding to production. They're trying to capitalize on the growth of bourbon, and so they're building out production so they can make more. Remember, it still takes 3-4 years to get yourself some bourbon, to get something that's worthwhile, to get something of value. So we're seeing these distilleries come back. We're seeing them build out, and this is excellent. But you will not see the results for quite a few years. When people talk about doing like a 10-year bourbon, you understand they literally have to wait 10 years? People do this, and they've got to wait 10 plus years in order to taste what they did and see if it has any value whatsoever, to see if it was worth the wait. I think that's incredible, but I'm thrilled to see how it's building and growing, right? And of course, when you talk about aging a bourbon can go into the cask and out of the cask and be considered bourbon because that's just part of the legal, right? But to be a straight bourbon and it has to have a 4 years bottled in bond, I should say, has to be of 4 years. A straight bourbon is got to be labeled. It's aged under 4 years, but it has to be labeled with the duration of the aging. That's how it works. Bourbon, in general, has to be aged for a minimum of 2 years to be called straight bourbon, but if it's under 4 years, it has to tell you how many years it's been in the barrel. After that, they can do whatever they want. So those are the bourbon rules. I hope I explained that right. It gets a little wonky.
No, you did explain it right, but it's very encouraging to see what's going on in Kentucky with all of these distilleries expanding and the bourbon trail, the tourism, it's coming back in a big way. It's encouraging to see because people are ready. They're ready to get out of the house. They're ready to do some traveling, and they're ready to spend some money, which is great.
And I will tell you that the one thing I have yet to do is the bourbon trail. This summer is the summer for it. I am going to be a couple weekends down in Kentucky, parts of Indiana. It's not the bourbon trail, but still they've got good distilleries. Checking out what people do, seeing what's happening down there, and getting that experience. We're going to share it here. We're going to create some video, create some opportunities. Very excited about getting down there. Thrilled for the growth. And if you've got yourself a good bourbon, or you got yourself the Guinness, right, the Nitro Brew, coffee, beer right there, perfect for Father's Day. And then you get the Get Out and Grill assortment from Omaha Steaks. Thrilled to have them as a part of Eat, Drink, Smoke, delivered to your doorstep. You place the order, it shows up right there. Put it right in the freezer. When you need it, pull it out, boom, you are grilling. You got the butcher's cut strips, you've got the boneless chicken breast, the Omaha Steak burgers. I've got a couple of those ready to go for tonight. The gourmet jumbo franks, you got the fries, the Omaha Steakhouse fries, the caramel apple tartlets for dessert. That signature seasoning on the chicken breast is fantastic. And right now, you can get 4 New York strip burgers for free when you use my code Tony, Tony. So go to omahasteaks.com, and right there in the search bar, put in Tony, Tony, and you will see all the incredible deals, all the opportunities that are there for you. But get the Get Out and Grill package for Father's Day. Dad wants steak. Dad wants steak. And it's so easy when you just pull it out and can grill anytime you want. omahasteaks.com. omahasteaks.com. Use the keyword Tony. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie, radio extravaganza. Tony Katz, Fingers Malloy. Go to eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you're not listening to it already. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. It is everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And make sure if you can leave a review, leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate it, and so would the country. The American Oak, the Westland American Oak, American single malt whiskey. I just moved it to a cube. Just trying it here because I want to try it. This has been sensational. This has been sensational to experience. That for me, it's chocolate, a touch of banana. For Fingers Malloy, he's getting more vanilla out of it. I'm doing it on the cube. Hold on.
There he goes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is tremendous. Now again, it's sweet. For me, this is very sweet, and that's why it's not in my liquor cabinet. This has nothing to do with whether or not it's good. This, in the right occasion, is just sensational. Now, it is a single malt whiskey. You would think of that as a Scotch, but Scotch only happens in Scotland, and it's finished in American charred oak. It's a very unique way of doing things. Man, it is all right, Fingers.
It is, and I did not put it on a rock. I just splashed a little bit of cool water in it.
And cool water.
And it brought out the chocolate that you were talking about.
Did it?
Yes, it did. And what I'm really happy about is it did that, but it didn't take any of that spice away. Because I really enjoyed the spice, but with no sting, which is nice.
There's zero sting.
Yeah, it's all spice, and I really enjoy that. So for me, just a couple of splashes of cool water, and it's really made a difference.
46% alcohol by volume, so 92 proof. No burn. I got a little bit of burn on the throat, a little bit of heat, center chest, but that was it. This is interesting. It's such a nose, too. A lot of flavor on the nose. This is all right. It's time, Fingers Malloy, and pairing with the Davidoff Dominicana in a very, very good way. I think I would like to see coffee with this. I think I'd like a little more earthbound to it, but this is earthy kind of flavoring. This is delicious.
Well, you said you would like a rum with it. I mean, this is clearly not rum, but it does bring some sweetness that a rum would bring. Just a different flavor profile when it comes to the sweetness. But I think they pair very well.
This is a very good choice. Check it out for yourself. Fingers Malloy, it's time for News of the Week.
Tony Katz, it's time for us to do some shopping.
Okay.
You want to do some shopping?
Are we going to the Macy's or
No?
Or maybe the J.C. Penney? Are you taking me to Marshall's?
No.
I do love TJ Maxx.
We're going to the Gap? No, we're not going to the Gap. We're going to our computers.
Okay, because I was going to say I'm not going to Abercrombie & Fitch. There's nothing I can fit into there. And that store is trying to intimidate me, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't know how people buy clothes online. Do you buy your clothes online?
Rarely. I find something that I like, and I get it in every color and style because it's about fit.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a big guy, and there are certain things that just fit well and some things that really don't, even if I like them. So I have to go in. I have to try it.
Yeah, for me, I'm 6'3", and I get most of my height in my torso. So it's hard for me to buy clothes.
Do you get most of your height in your torso?
Yeah, my height's not in my legs. I've actually got short legs for a tall guy. It's all right here. And I'm showing that.
Have you
radio
done a
audience.
study?
Just tell by looking at me.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I honestly, I've never looked at you that way.
Well, now you're looking at me in a whole new light. And by the way, my eyes are up here, Tony.
Well, that's not what I was looking at.
But
why do you bring up the shopping?
Because Amazon has announced when their Prime Day will be, and it's taking place this summer. It's a 2-day online sale. It's a huge sale. Amazon-aholics, that's what they call them, the people that really love their Amazon.
That's not a thing.
They are always looking for when the Prime Day will be, and it will take place on June 21st, Tony.
So isn't that when you can get like super good deals on junk that you don't need?
Exactly.
Oh, then I love it. I'll be there.
It doesn't. And by the way, I'm going to say this, knowing full well that Amazon would make a fine sponsor of the Eat, Drink, Smoke radio program.
Oh my gosh, they'd be amazing. We should really have our own store there, a cigar store with all the things you can get. That is, we're working on it, guys. We're working on it as fast as we can. We're growing stations. The website is growing huge, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. We have a couple of ideas. This will be the summer to put them into implementation.
Yes.
Implementation.
But isn't that what much of Amazon is? It's impulse buying at midnight when maybe you've had 2 or 3.
Westlands, and you're like, I'm on the computer. Oh, I'll open up Amazon, and then packages will be delivered like 3 days later.
Do not blame Westland single malt whiskey for your issues. And by the way, no, I have never just been on Amazon late at night and been like, gonna buy this, gonna buy this, gonna buy this. Never once, never ever.
Oh, I have. I've
Really?
pulled a total Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack walking into the pro shop going, oh, I'll take 2 of these and 1 of those. Oh, I'll take 1 of those. Oh.
Give me a couple of those naked lady teas. Oh, look at that. Hat like this, you get a free bowl of soup. Looks good on you, though.
Well-
we could do the whole movie, people. This could happen.
Maybe we will someday. We'll do a script read. But this is big for Amazon. The boost of Prime Day could result in the e-commerce giant pulling in a projected $110 to $116 billion the second quarter. This year.
I gotta do the research. What do they usually do in a quarter?
$13 million.
That's not that. Then they should do Prime Day every day if they're going to go from 13 million to 116 billion. It's unbelievable. And honestly, at some moment, it's just a giant garage sale. We're like, I don't know what I need with all these wires, but they were only 50 cents.
Yeah, and
And
what
you
is
put it in your box with all the other wires that you have.
And I know this is going to turn into like a hack comedy bit, but what is it about guys? I've got a whole bin of RCA cables, coax cables that it's like I can't get rid of it.
Throw it out. I've done it.
I can't do it, Tony.
Yes, you can. Throw it out. Throw it out.
You say that, but what happens?
No, literally right out the window. Just leave it on your lawn. Somebody will take it. What is this, a coax? Honey, look. This is a totally good coax. I can't believe somebody threw this away.
Our neighbor is making it rain coax cable. I've never seen that before. But what happens, Tony, the one time I throw that all away and then I open up a box and I need a coax cable, I'm going to...
That will never happen. That will never happen in a wireless world. It's never going to happen. Right? Haven't you cut the cord yet? Or haven't you gotten rid of cable?
Yes,
So what are you going to need a coax for? The only reason I have a coax cable in my house is because we have a digital antenna for the TV.
Okay.
Right? So that's a coax cable.
Yeah.
So that's one. It's never going to go bad to be like, I need myself a spare coax. That is. We could actually go on tour with Jeff Foxworthy with this whole conversation. Throw it out. The RCA things, you're never going to need it. Throw it out.
You know something that should have been thrown out that wasn't? There's an Indiana man who was selling one single chicken nugget that looks like Indiana. And
it does.
And he's asking $500 for it.
Sold. I would do it. Tell him that I will pay the $500 for the Hoosier State shaped chicken nugget. Now the question is, do you eat it?
It's probably still good.
It's a McDonald's nugget. It may be. It's still good. All right, I'm looking at it right now. It kind of looks like Indiana. It kind of looks, if you turned it the other way, it would look like Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
Right? It kind of looks like a chicken nugget more than Indiana or Louisiana. Right? If you turned it on its side, it would look like Florida. You can do anything with this thing. It looks like all the states.
Here's what's disturbing about this. I don't know how old this chicken nugget is. And by the way, I look in the ad here. It comes with coax cable. That's nice. Sold. It looks fresh, Tony.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know how old this chicken nugget is, but it looks like it just came out of the box.
What would you do with the $500 nug?
I wouldn't buy it. You're
I'm just asking. You had a $500 nug. Do you display it? Keep it in the freezer like that piece of wedding cake?
Well, I think the first thing I'd do, I'd film a TikTok of me with the chicken nugget.
What is with you?
TikTok. It's fun to say.
You're not on TikTok.
No, I'm not, but it's
You don't
fun
even know
say.
how to get to TikTok.
Oh, yes, I do.
I would do it just for the story. $500 on a chicken nugget. I'm in. I'm sold. It's 3 states in one, depending on how you look at it. That's a bargain. A bargain. I'd put a webcam on it. Oh, I'm going to need that coax.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to need. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Did you know Audible isn't just for audiobooks? They have podcasts too. And you guessed it, Eat, Drink, Smoke is now on Audible. Listen to us there. Eat, Drink, Smoke.
We are getting ready for the PCA. This is the Premium Cigar Association, the big convention, Vegas in July. We will be there. If you're going to be there, we would like to say hello to you. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. If you're just going to be in Vegas, let us know. We'll come by and say hello. It'll be great, but the convention is going to be incredible. Arturo Fuente, Padron, Rocky Patel, EPC, JC Newman, My Father, Tatsuaje, Ace Prime, AJ Fernandez, Alec Bradley, CLE, Crown Heads, Espinoza, La Polina, all giving support. And there's a bit of back and forth going on in the cigar world about conventions and people not showing up. Oh, we don't have the money. Oh, COVID. Maybe they're trying to not show up to this convention. Maybe go to another one. We're going to see how that kind of plays out. We are convention agnostic. We support the industry. We're supporting cigars. We're supporting cigar manufacturers. We're supporting cigar retailers. We support same thing with the world of bourbon and spirits. We just want to be supportive. So we are heading out there in Vegas. Of course, they had to cancel last year because of COVID. The big ones, General Cigar, Drew Estate, Davidoff, and Altadis are not right now going to be in attendance. Maybe it's a power play. Maybe it's the dollars. Maybe it's whatever it is. I'm hoping that when we leave the convention, we'll get an understanding of maybe some things going on. Remember, it's still a business, and these are still competitors. For us, it's just about understanding. It's about sharing. That's what it's about. It's the same way we do reviews, guys. We are not claiming any level of expertise. We may know more than some, but what we are saying is that nobody is a bigger supporter of the industry and people who are creating their own blogs and people who do other podcasts. There's no bigger supporters of people doing these things and sharing these stories than us.
No, you're exactly right. And I don't know what's going on. If there's any cigar drama, don't care. We're just there to support the cigar industry any way that we can. Oh, and by the way, it's in Las Vegas.
It's in Vegas. And now we did get the hotel room. We're not telling you where we're staying. We can't have all the ladies showing up. We gotta get some rest.
I'm fine telling them we're staying at the Sands.
I think people are going to realize that may not be there anymore.
Oh.
Right?
We're staying at the Frontier.
We're staying at the Ocean's 11 is where we're staying. But looking forward to a great time, and really just so good to see the industry coming back, getting back. And a lot of these industry conversations are also about the cost. What's happening? We talk about taxes. We've talked about Oregon. We've talked about Michigan. These things affect us, the end consumer. That's what we are, right? That's what we all are. So knowing what's happening, being able to share that, ways to get involved in those things. This is something you like. This is something where you're spending your money. You should know what's going on and then jump in and be able to help where you can.
No, that's so true. I took Fingers Malloy Sr., my dad, into his first humidor over the holiday.
Did you really?
He'd never been to a cigar humidor before. Just turned 83, by the way. Happy birthday, Dad. And he looked at the cigars, looked at the price, and I told him what went into, making a fine cigar. And he said, I'm surprised these all aren't $100 a piece.
Right. Once you see what the rolling is and the process of the farming and the work involved, how a cigar isn't $40-50 on average, $100 is beyond belief. It's incredible that we're able to bring things to people. They're able to bring things to people at price points that really work. And that's why we got to ensure that they're able to continue to do so. Now, it was Memorial Day weekend, and we only hope you took the time to remember those who gave all. For us, it's more than just a long weekend, people. Movie theaters got back open, and the movie business did over $100 million over Memorial Day weekend. You could knock me over with a feather. Movies are back. People have so much said, you know what? I'm done. I'm into my life. Let's go eat some popcorn. Could not be happier to be wrong. Because I thought movie theaters were done.
I did too. I thought that Americans had made a decision when it came to their entertainment and their movies, and it was all going to be Netflix and Hulu and all the streaming services. And, they're coming out with so much original content that maybe movie theaters were going to turn into the old drive-ins.
Right.
And they were just going to go away. And listen, let's face it, if you've read the stories over the past year, many movie theaters have closed for good. So this is outstanding news, and I'm surprised as well.
And one of the crazier stories we talked a lot about GameStop and the stories of how the hedge funds were trying to short GameStop, right? They bet on the price going down so they could make the spread as the price went down. And the people on Reddit, call it a message board, call it whatever you will, said, oh, no. We're going to pump the stock price. We think this is worth real dollars, and we're going to keep pushing it. So the price kept going up. The hedge funds had to buy in order to cover their short position. So they lost crazy amounts of money, but would have lost more if they kept the short position. And GameStop went crazy. Then they stopped trading for a while. This is now happening with AMC, all right? AMC Entertainment in the movie theaters. Now, full disclosure, when this happened, I bought some AMC stock. I will never, ever tell, like if we review something that gets sent to us, we will always tell you. Never lie. I never lie. We just don't do it here. So I do own some. I don't own enough to count as I see it, but I do own some because I bought it because they were talking about how that was going to get, pumped around as well. I was like, all right, I'll see what happens. And then nothing happened. And lately, the stock is through the roof. It's been up more than 1,400% in the last 5 months. And who knows where it's at today when you're hearing this. But AMC has been so taken with how people are talking about them. They are going to now reward retail investors with free popcorn and exclusive screenings. You asked the question, Fingers, are they allowed to do this? And the answer is, I don't know. But Daddy getting some popcorn.
I would assume.
By the way, second time today I've referred to myself as Daddy.
Hey.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but you be you. But you would think that AMC has some good lawyers, and they would run it by them before they make this offer. So I'm assuming it's legal. But when I read that, I thought, gosh, I can't believe that's legal. So what happens? Do you show up with your stock portfolio and say, look, here's my AMC stock, give me some popcorn?
They've got a whole platform that will provide shareholders with exclusive promotions like free or discounted items and invitations to special screenings, as well as direct communications with the CEO, Adam Aron.
What a world.
If you ever watch Gary Vaynerchuk, who goes by Gary V, he started in the wine business, his family's liquor store, and then really built it out and has turned himself into a motivational speaker, a really interesting cat, and all good on him. He talks about the fact for the first 2-3 years, he responded to every message, text, email. He responded to every single thing. That connection he created with people was everything. And I have adopted some of that, and we're doing a pretty good job of getting back with everybody who reaches out via Eat, Drink, Smoke. We had some people send me some ideas of the grill I should buy. You can find that on eatdrinksmokeshow.com. So if you're like, hey, Tony should get this, we posted it. We posted your comments and your suggestions for me. I'm not taking any of them, but we posted them. If you want to connect with people who are supporting you and you want to make sure you stay in touch, this is a very social media savvy way of doing exactly that. This is impressive.
People appreciate you going the extra mile to engage with them, whether it's a radio show or if you happen to run AMC.
Anywhere where you're building a community, a group of people, right? They do want to be connected.
Yes. So good on them. And maybe I'll buy one share so I can get some free popcorn.
It's a long-term investment.
Yes.
On the popcorn. Better be the large.
Well, doesn't one bucket of popcorn cost like $50 now? So
yes, it does. You're already ahead of the game. The Westland American Oak American Single Malt Whiskey, it's very good. It's great on the nose. There's a sweetness. You want to try it. This is a unique way of doing things. WestlandDistillery.com and this Davidoff Dominicana. Yup. I can't say it enough. I'm just starting into the final third of this. And this flavor, that touch of spice, that bit of cream, there's a heartiness. It's working just fine. Don't forget to go to Eat, Drink, Smoke Show and find everything eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.